Top 10 rarest knockouts in MMA history. Many fighters have been knocked out with odd yet striking moves across the years. In fact, these knockouts were so rare that experts had different views about them. Some say they were pre-planned, while others say it was possible only due to insane luck. So, there have been several rare knockouts in MMA's history, and will continue to happen in the future as well. However, join us in today's video as we discuss the top 10 rarest yet absolutely stunning knockouts in MMA's history. Number 10. Marco Baladu vs. Emilio Urrutia. These knockouts with tomahawk are barely experienced once after 3 to 4 years in MMA. For those who don't know what tomahawk means, it's simply a fierce elbow shot in the face of the opponent. Soon as the match started, Mark was hitting Emilio with the tomahawk, but most of them were not on target. At the end of the first round, Mark distracted Emilio with his right hand, due to which Emilio became confused, and his hands were not in the correct blocking position. Moreover, Mark consecutively tried to tomahawk his opponent, but the first round ended as the bell rang, helping Emilio escape the situation. However, as the match reached the second round, no one was injured, but a direct tomahawk by Mark knocked Emilio out quickly. But what's crazy was that no one knew what happened until the replay was shown, and everyone was amazed to see Emilio getting knocked out in the rarest of manners. Number 9. Davey Gallon vs. Ross Pearson. The fight was incredibly competitive from the start of the very first round. Davey and Ross were throwing back fists at each other, but that was leading to no results. Davey was trying different strategies on his opponent, such as grabbing him on the ground, but still, nothing was working for him. Davey was looking in a hurry and wanted to knock him out as quickly as possible. Davey even attempted to choke him, but Ross's defenses were too strong for that. This was before we experienced the unexpected moment. It was just 20 seconds left in the third round when Davey flipped his body to kick Ross's face with what we call the Rolling Thunder. This is actually a somersault kick, given the name of Rolling Thunder by the MMA. Well, this was undoubtedly one of the knockouts rarely witnessed in history. Number 8. AJ Matthews vs. Charlie Ratter. It's considered quite a versatile move to knock out your opponent with lower soccer kicks onto the legs and body. But this is rarely seen because it's risky as your whole body while kicking is exposed to your opponent. In this match, AJ only wanted to knock out Charlie with soccer kicks, as he practiced them as soon as the match started. AJ was targeting his legs, while Charlie was doing nothing much to attack AJ. AJ was frustrating his opponent with sharp right and left lower kicks, until he finally finished him with a spectacular soccer kick onto Charlie's face, when his body was forced to knee down. The soccer kick was so strong that the crowd thought Charlie's neck bone had been broken at first. Number 7. Arthur Gustinov vs. Tyson Jeffries. Spinning back fist. In 2011, Arthur was making his debut against Tyson, and this knockout boosted his MMA career. The match was exciting as both the contenders were attacking each other. There was an exchange of words between Arthur and Tyson when Tyson grabbed the debutant from the neck, but Arthur was lucky to escape that situation. Arthur was the fighter getting hit repeatedly as Tyson dominated him inside the ring. It took Arthur just a single spinning back fist with great force to finish his opponent. With this punch, Tyson was so devastated that the referee had to come in front of him to protect him from Arthur. Number 6. Alfie Davis vs. Nick Baker. Axe kick. In 2016, Alfie Davis faced Nick Baker in a fight, which lasted only 3 minutes. Everyone had expected a lot from this match, but what we experienced was totally the opposite. Alfie Davis knocked out Nick Baker with an axe kick onto his face. It's a straight slant kick that goes above the opponent's height and lands on the top of his face. This was not called the axe kick before Alfie showed the MMA world his skills. Nick was devastated as he's never even imagined being knocked out miserably in under 3 minutes by a single shot. After this kick, Alfie was given the nickname of Axeman in MMA, and this kick was called the axe kick. Number 5. Michael Page vs. Ben Dishman. Tornado kick. Michael Page showed the world a great knockout in his debut match against Ben Dishman in 2012. At that time, Michael Page was new to MMA fighting, so not many people knew him, but this knockout made him famous within a single match. From the start of the first round, Michael Page, also known as Venom, was dancing and moving across the ring, which was quite unusual for everyone watching the fight. Michael Page was so relaxed that it felt like he was fighting with a kid, while Ben was just defending himself from Page's unexpected moves. Finally, Page rotated 360 degrees to kick Ben onto his face, knocking him out uniquely. This kick is known as the tornado kick, and Page executed it so strongly that Ben had almost lost his senses. Number 4. Michael Chandler vs. Will Brooks. There was nothing much exciting in the first 3 rounds of the match between Michael Chandler and Will Brooks. After 3 minutes in round 4, Will hit Chandler with a fantastic right-hand punch. The punch was precisely on target and smacked Chandler's forehead. Chandler had no clue about what happened to him and started to roam around without walking and seeing anything clearly. Chandler went to the side of the ring with his back pointing towards Will, and Will never wanted to miss this opportunity and ran into him, grabbing his neck and smashing him with solid punches. The referee, analyzing the situation, came forward to stop Will, and it was declared a knockout. Chandler's situation was also terrible even after the match ended, as he couldn't walk properly. Number 3. Luke Nelson vs. Jason Vall. This was one of the scariest reactions to watch in the history of MMA. The fight was going on between Luke Nelson and Jason Vall, in which Jason choked him through a reverse triangle. We all thought this was a standard breakout, but different things were seen after Jason left him. He was making weird faces like he had just escaped death and was not recognizing the referee. Moreover, even after being choked, he acted as if he was defending himself from punches. Number 2. Charles Oliveira vs. Cub Swanson. Charles Oliveira was up against Cub Swanson, and both showcased their skills quite decently. In the middle of their fight, Charles was punched right into the face by Cub, but that looked like a normal punch, and no one had expected him to fall down the way he did. It took Charles about 5 seconds to fall on the canvas, which was very strange. And not only the crowd, but also the commentators were in shock about what actually had happened. Number 1. Gary Goodridge vs. Paul Herrera. This is definitely one of the top and rarest finishes of all time. Gary Goodridge and Paul Herrera were debutants facing each other in the MMA. The fight lasted only 13 seconds before Paul Herrera was knocked out, before putting up a fight. Although he tried gripping Gary's legs, that wasn't enough. Gary grabbed Paul's whole body, controlling one hand with his legs and one with his left hand, exposing Paul's face. Right after that, Gary hit his face with his elbow until he was completely knocked out. So, that's it guys. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. Let us know your thoughts on which knockout you found the rarest of all. Also, you're free to mention any other fabulous style knockout that you think is worth adding to this list. Please share your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one.